In this video, we'll be taking a look at the Mandalorian or Din Djarin for the Vintage Collection. This is based upon his appearance from Season 1, and this is the very first action figure of him that we got in TVC. Hasbro has definitely utilized this tooling to their fullest extent. We're probably up to, maybe a dozen different Mandalorians in TVC at this point. And they all pretty much utilize the same tooling. There are some differences, I think. Maybe they included rocker ankles now, for instance, and of course the paint schemes are different. Maybe some of the armor pieces are just ever so slightly different, but the base of the action figure, or I think maybe the legs, the torso, maybe even the helmet, are all reutilized, and of course the weapons are as well, and the cape in some circumstances. I know Hasbro has done a soft goods cape for some of the Mandalorian figures. And at this time, I have reviewed two versions of this character on the channel. I did the one that's in his Beskar armor, which is just a straight repaint of this, basically. And then I did the one that came with all the spiders in that really large bubble. But still, this is a nice action figure. He deserves his own video. Happy he's a part of my collection. I got this in 2020. To be honest, I forget if I got this through Tungori or if I got this as a single card release. I did at one point have a carded version of this action figure, but I ended up giving it away. The Mandalorian, I know I've mentioned it before. I have not actually seen the series, so I didn't really have much of an attachment to him to really justify keeping a carded version of him. But yeah, I'm trying to think exactly what I can say about this action figure, but there really isn't a whole lot more I can say than what I probably have with the previous videos I've done. But still, let's just take a closer look at him. The helmet looks really good. I'm a big fan of that. I like the color scheme they went for as well. The Black Series action figure, I think, has a little bit more scuffs and scrapes all throughout his armor. But they did a fair amount for this. While in the Black Series one, it looks more like bullet holes in some areas. This one looks more like it's dense and just normal wear and tear along the way. Has the bandolier here. Has some nice sculpting work in that. Has his extra ammo there. Does have the Shore Trooper armor on this side, and the regular Mandalorian armor for most of the side, and then the Shore Trooper there. Nice detailing in his belt. Has some various gadgets all throughout. And for his legs here, has some nice detailing for the armor as well. I know I mentioned this in the Black Series video that I think, at least for the knees here, it almost reminds me of like Stormtrooper armor. I'm not sure if that's exactly what it is. But he does have the extra ammo wrapped around his leg there. And his boots. Articulation, he is super articulated. The ball joint, the head, shoulders, elbows. The elbows do go past 90 degrees, which is nice. Then we do have hinged wrists. This one goes up and down, and this one goes up and down as well. So they both have the same motion. Joint torso, hinged hips, swivel thigh, hinged knees, and hinged ankles, not rocker ankles. This was still just before Hasbro went all in with doing the rocker ankles for the action figures. And as I mentioned, I think since then, Hasbro has modified this action figure some to include rocker ankles for him. For weapons and accessories, I suppose if you count his plastic cape here, that is an accessory, and you can take it off. You'd have to pop his head off, though. The bandolier, I don't think you could really take that off, but it is a separately sculpted piece. It does have the holster here with his pistol. which he does hold very nicely in his hand. And then if you have it with his trigger hand here, his finger does fit around the guard. This hand can hold it too, but he's not going to have the finger on the trigger. We'll just put it in his hand regardless. He still holds it pretty good there. And of course, his signature rifle, which looks very nice. And you can plug it into his back, but you have to have him at an awkward angle. At least to me it feels like it. You have to line up his bandolier here with his back, and there is a hole in his back to accommodate. And I think that plugs in much better than the Black Series action figure. But it looks pretty good like that. I really like that. And we'll switch out the pistol for here. Yeah, very nice. Well, yeah, you can see what I mean by the angle. You have to have his back kind of an interesting angle, I guess. Almost looks like his stomach is sticking out, or he's trying to stick his stomach out in order to get that to work. Otherwise, if you try moving this forward, that is just going to pop out on you. Kind of look down the barrel a little bit as well. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can really say about this action figure. I'm sure if you're watching this video, most people have seen everything there is about it at this point. It's nice to finally get checked off on the channel. It was an essential one to do. Here he is with Cara Dune. Cara Dune was actually one of the very first action figures I reviewed on the channel for the actual Hasbro products. And then here he is with the Beskar one I reviewed previously a little while ago. And as you can see, it is pretty much just a straight repaint of this one. And they all look pretty good. I will bring out one more here real quick. Here he is with IG-11, who I also have a video for. And all these characters look really good together. Happy they're a part of my collection. So would I recommend this Mandalorian for your collection? I'm sure most people that have wanted him probably have him at this point, but in case you're new to collecting or you're not entirely sure, yes, I would recommend it. It's a very nice action figure. Even if you don't know anything about the show at all, it's still nice to add a background Mandalorian to your collection. That's how I treat him. But Hasbro did a very nice job with it. This was during the time where TVC, it was kind of on shaky ground where no one knew exactly what was going to happen with it. It came back in 2018, and then by 2020, they weren't doing a whole lot of releases, and the waves were released by like 3 or 4 action figures at a time, and most of them were pretty boring and generic. So this was kind of a time for TVC where a lot of people thought that perhaps it's going to be dwindling down yet again very soon, or sooner than later. But thankfully, since then, it seems like it's kind of had a little bit of a revival. But yeah, nice action figure overall. Happy he's been in my collection over the last 4 years, and I probably display him alongside all these other characters. But anyways, that concludes this review. I hope you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for plenty more reviews in the future. There will always be more to come. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I always appreciate all your support, and check out some links in the description if you haven't done so already. And as always, thanks for watching.